You're looking at this beautiful older home that you're thinking about buying. Could there be danger lurking underground that you can't see? Find out today. This is day 3 of Mark Madness. Hi, and welcome to day 3 of Mark Madness. I'm your host, Mark J. Schmidt of Remax Country and MoveMeMark.com. So picture this. You found your dream home. It's a gorgeous home. Maybe it's a bit of an older home. It's got this beautiful architecture. It's got these accents inside that you just don't find anymore. And the home just seems solid. And you like it. You love it. Could there be something lurking underground that you want no part of? The answer could be yes. So I want to tell you about that so you make sure you don't have a problem. In some older homes, they may have started off, and I'm talking homes that were built maybe in the 40s and 50s, earlier, later, whatever. They may have had oil heat. And what they did was they said, you know what? We don't want these oil tanks above ground taking up space, so we'll put them underground. And that seemed like a great idea at the time. Now, of course, no one realized that metal and moist surfaces, moist environments, don't really go well together. They create rust. So anyway, you've got this oil tank in the ground, and then maybe one day the previous owner says, you know what, I'm tired of oil. I have the chance to hook up to gas, so we're going to convert the house to gas. So they converted the house to gas, and they abandoned the tank in the yard. Now here it is years later, that tank could still be there. Now, if you're buying a house and there's a possibility that it had oil heat before, and it could still have oil heat now, but there's a possibility that it has a tank in the ground, you're going to want to do an oil tank sweep. Now, what an oil tank sweep is, basically, it's just a device. It's radar. It's just like very similar to if you see people with metal detectors on the beach in the summer. It's very similar to that. It's a bit of a bigger unit. And basically the gentleman comes out, or the gentlewoman comes out, and they sweep the yard to see if there's any large metal objects in the ground. Now, I had a house I sold a few years ago. The owner, lovely woman, she owned the home for 37 years. And during the home inspection, she had an indoor, it was in her basement, oil tank. We thought, no problem. But during the home inspection, the home inspector had found a small piece of pipe about that long, about that wide, and it was crushed up against the wall. So he recommended that they have an oil tank sweep because it was coming like out of the wall and they had crushed it against the wall. So they had an oil tank sweep. Turns out there was an oil tank in the ground. It was under the patio. The owner had no idea that there was an oil tank there. Now, the real issue, the problem you can run into is that when an oil tank is underground, like I said, metal and moisture do not go well together. So the oil tank can start to rust, and if it starts to rust and it starts to get holes in it, any oil that's inside can leak out. Now you've got contamination. Now you've got to pay for a cleanup. So just to pull an oil tank can be like $2,000. If you're talking about cleanup on top of that, you could be talking about tens of thousands of dollars. So you don't want to get involved in that. If you are at an older house that you're thinking about buying, spend the money. Get that peace of mind. Get an oil tank sweep. Now listen, if you have questions about buying or selling a home, please head to my website. There's lots of great information there. That's www.MoveMeMark.com. I've even got a fantastic home search there. You're going to love it. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope to see you tomorrow for another episode of Mark Madness.